Welcome to Gun News Review. Attorneys for 7 California gun owners and 4 Second Amendment advocacy organizations announced today that they filed an amended complaint in a new motion seeking a preliminary injunction in a lawsuit over California's so-called bullet button assault weapon registration program. The Firearms Policy Organization says California's Attorney General and his Department of Justice botched the assault weapon registration program, and now thousands of gun owners are at risk of felony charges. The motion seeks to allow reasonable opportunity as determined by the court to register the qualifying firearms through a functional registration system. The plaintiffs argue that the DOJ had a legal duty to provide a functional registration system but did not because of failures. That includes the inaccessibility and problems with the system. Because of that, the plaintiffs argue that the state violated their civil rights protected under the state and federal constitutions. A judge in Fulton County, Georgia, has denied an injunction request by 6 Georgia professors to prohibit the state's campus carry law. Campus carry was signed into law last year and allows concealed carry permit holders to carry a gun on some parts of public college campuses. The professors argued that campus carry is dangerous and unconstitutional, and the final decision should be up to the respective Board of Regents, not the state. The professors are still deciding whether to further pursue their concerns through an appeal. In Canada, the Montreal City Council will debate a motion urging the federal government to ban guns nationwide. The motion would join Montreal with Toronto in asking the Trudeau government to increase its proposed firearms regulations. A Montreal City Councillor said that tighter controls are needed to increase public safety. In last Friday's shooting in Fredericton, police say the gunman had a valid firearms license. 2 police officers and 2 civilians were killed. An NRA-endorsed candidate for Florida Agriculture Commissioner is changing an ad after the association said he made a mistake in assigning a failing grade to a primary opponent. A Florida NRA lobbyist asked endorsed candidate Matt Caldwell to apologize for the ad against Republican primary opponent Denise Grimsley. The ad gave Grimsley a D grade on Second Amendment rights for 2016 that appeared to be from the NRA. But the NRA actually gave Grimsley, a state senator from Sebring, a grade of B that year. Caldwell is a state house member from North Fort Myers. Several dozen students rallied outside the New Hampshire Capitol Wednesday, pressing lawmakers for more gun restrictions. They also urged voters to keep the issue at the forefront. One of the students told the Concord Monitor that many students must now associate school with fear and dread after various school mass shootings. And the student said this is the beginning of a new era of a generation that will never stop fighting against guns. The students are pushing the legislature to pass universal background checks, red flag laws, and gun-free school zones. The rally fell just a day after the 6-month anniversary of the Parkland, Florida school mass shooting, which left 17 people dead. In Tuesday's primary election in Vermont, a former utility executive is now the first transgender candidate from a major political party to be nominated for governor. Christine Hallquist will now face Republican incumbent Phil Scott, who survived a bitter backlash from his base over gun restrictions that he supported. You're listening to Gun News Review. A military collector in Ohio who was moving some of his collection into a house soon found the Lake County Sheriff's Office bomb squad at his door. Someone called authorities after they spotted the items, which included mortar shells and other ammunition. Surrounding condo units were evacuated. Several agencies arrived to determine the safety and stability of the items. Representatives from Wright-Patterson Air Force Base and the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms and Explosives arrived to catalog the items. The sheriff's office says it appears this was just a person who's collected military items for years. And True West magazine is reporting that the first firearm forensically proven to have been used at the Battle of the Little Bighorn sold for $250,000 earlier this year. The Sharps 1874 rifle was linked to the battle in the 1980s through empty .50-70 cartridge cases found on the Montana battlefield. The Sharps was found in 1883 by a rancher and stayed with that family until it was sold at the auction. But some skeptics say it's possible the gun might not have been used in the battle because it would have been found closer to the 1876 battle date. And they speculate it could have been fired after the battle because the area was unrestricted at the time. You've been listening to Gun News Review, comprehensive and concise.